You're a dream, not a ghost. And it's Monday, and he's not getting on stage till Tuesday. So suck it. Please make some noise for your friend and mine, Andrew Maieto! You know, he carries a signed note in his pocket that says he can crash on Jerry Seinfeld's couch anytime he wants. He never uses it, though, because the last time he did that, Jerry tried to touch him. I don't mean like in a romantic way. I mean, he like woke up and he was like trying to touch him in the face. He's like, get away from me, man. What's wrong with me?
You know, I was a ghost.
He did, I guess. I don't know. There's a lot of that going around. Anyway, make some noise.
Are you really here? Yes. Check. 1, 2, 3.
That's right. Tap twice if you're really here.
Give us a sign.
Oh no! Never do that. Don't ask for that. That's how you get on.
So it's so early. I gotta do the family-friendly Horror Show Jack set. It's my professional name is Horror Show Jack. So family-friendly means no cursing, and I'm taking cursing completely off the market tonight.
Can you do that?
We're gonna find out. Also, no sex jokes. God, what else is there? Hold on, let me check my notes.
Your notes?
Yeah, I always write notes. You think I make this stuff off the top of my head? Without cursing? No, I have to have notes, or every other word out of my mouth will be an F-bomb and I'll never be allowed back here. So I'm going to out everyone here with one thing, because we all have social media, we all text, and you all do it on the toilet as well. You all know you're guilty of, oh, I gotta text Jerry. And the people laughing the most and the loudest are the ones that are most guilty. So, when I was younger, when I was in high school, my friends and I had this saying. It's like, you guys need to sleep. I'll sleep when I'm dead. And I said that well up into my mid-30s. Then I almost fell asleep behind the wheel, like, I better sleep or I'm going to be dead. Then I got to my later 30s, early 40s, and I'm like, you better let me sleep or you'll be dead. And now being a full-fledged adult, or a poor excuse for one, is, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Mavric told me to, he wanted to hear
Greatest hits.
Greatest hits. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick one. I'll do a couple that I can remember, because I was only able to write one down.
All classics.
Classics. Me doing classics is like Guar being on Where Are They Now? And they said, where were we ever? But one of my personal favorite jokes is, cannibalism is not illegal. It is only frowned upon. A joke that I just remembered, and sadly it's not a joke. In Tennessee, it is illegal to chain your alligator to a fire hydrant. These are laws that are actually on the book. Now, that does sound crazy, but then we're thinking we're talking about Tennessee here. But what makes my mind dazzle with joy is that someone had to do it in order for it to be a law. And I just want to know, who has an alligator for a pet, and where can I get my own?
Sue is in New York.
No, but I will tell you this much, and this terrified me. You know that old myth about New York rats? They're like this big? It's not a myth. The first time I encountered one, I was wearing a kilt, Doc Martens, and a t-shirt, and we're walking to the parking garage. And we hear a rustle in the garbage can. And this thing comes out, I swear to God. It was almost the size of a Great Dane. It was huge. And it comes out underneath the garbage and just starts walking across the street. And it stops and it sees me and my friend. So it does this. And I'm backing up because I'm wearing what people who have no culture will call a skirt. I'm wearing my kilt and I'm thinking soccer. I'm just going to kick it. And it stops and right down a sewer. And then we heard a rustle, and it was the alligator eating the rat. So, we were so busy because we started. This is the last. This was the last weekend that we'll be home for 3 weeks. So this is why I'm like. I was relieved when Mavric said do greatest hits, and I could only think of one joke. So I'm like, I got to think of stories that are family friendly, and that I know. So I'm going to tell you 3 drunken stories because when I get drunk, it's funny. It's never the cops were called, then they were tasing me. I had to call my buddy to get me out of jail. No, it was like, you want to know what you did last night? And I was like, I know it's PG. That's all I know. So I found a concoction that in 15 minutes will make you hit the floor. I went to a friend's party, my friend Craig, and I just gone through a horrible, horrible breakup. And I'll just tell you, we'll Tarantino it a little bit. The ending of the story, I created multi-personality vomit. Now, we'll go back to the beginning and end up where I just told you we will end up. So I walk in, they hand me a bottle of Jaeger. It's about that big. One gulp, I took that much out of it. Now he's grilling out that. He gives me 2 shots of a Turkish beer. It had a specific name, but this is 17 years ago. That brain cell is dead. Then I go downstairs. I have 2 shots of Goldschlager. 2 shots. Yeah, that's what I said. I had to try it twice to make sure I didn't like it. Then I had 2 shots of Captain Morgan, followed by 2 shots of Dr. Pepper. Upstairs, 2 more shots of the Turkish beer. Then another big gulp of that Jaeger. And he had a front living room, kitchen, and then back living room. And I'm standing in the kitchen. They're like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Bam! On the floor. Next thing I know, I wake up. Everyone in the house is standing over. It's like, dude, you all right? You got to get up. I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm just going to stay right here. The floor is cold. It's comfortable. Next thing I know, I'm picked up. I'm put on the couch. Water in one hand, Gatorade in the other. My friend looks at me and goes, you okay? Yeah. He goes, you all right? Yeah. Do you think you're going to throw up? I don't know. He goes, if you do, you think you can make it to the bathroom? Now, I've been to his house many, many times. He goes, I'm like, I think so. I'm like, still right over there, right? And he goes, do you want to sit out on the deck? I'm like, that's a great idea. So now we're out on the deck, and I'm just like, you know something, man? I love you guys. You're not going to believe what that girl put me through. Oh my God, I almost lost. I always have such a good time with you. Then I lost my security deposit and she's sleeping with one of my friends. You know, I can't wait for Ren Fair to hang out with all you guys. I woke up later in a spare bedroom with the Gatorade still in my hand. And 3 days later is when the hangover ended. So I quit drinking for a few months. This one I quit drinking for 4 months, and the only reason why I started drinking again was because a friend of mine threw me my first surprise birthday party for my 30th birthday at a bar in New York. Someone throws you a surprise party at a bar, you have to drink. Yep. So I used to be in this band many years ago, and they had a barbecue, and we went over, 2 woodchuck ciders, a shot of Jack Daniels. Then someone has the delightful idea to play beer pong. I went to community college, so in my early teens and early 20s, I didn't play beer pong. I started playing beer pong when I was in my 30s. But the girl I was dating was, she was in her early to mid 20s, so she was still in college. So I'm like, we're gonna win. So it was my guitarist and his girlfriend, and me and my girlfriend. We lost miserably. So now I've got 6 cups of beer in me, half, and then she took the other half. So then I'm like, she disappears, he disappears. So I see his girlfriend, I'm like, I don't want to play you, because I'm already a little drunk. And she goes, but I'm going to lose. I'm like, that's the point. So we rack everything up, I turn around to get the ball, and I get ready. My girlfriend at the time is standing right in front of me, like, now all of a sudden, she is a beer pong champion. Everyone, boom, in, and I'm sitting there going, where was this when we were playing the 2 of them? And her reply was, when you play beer pong, no one really loses, do they? I'm like, you've got a point, because at this point, if you spill any beer, the rule is you have to fill the beer all the way to the top. That's the rules they play. So 12 beers later, I'm gone, because I have lost, and the first one, it was half a beer. The second one, I spilled a little. Now, by the fifth one, I'm just laughing as I'm pouring it and just filling it up, drinking it. So everyone's sitting over there, and this was a house right next to a lake, fence, so I'm standing by the lake, leaning on the fence. Okay, no one saw that. Go sit back down. I'm talking to people about philosophy that I don't know. They don't know me. I don't know them. Wander back over to the fence, throw up some more, run inside, run upstairs to the secret bathroom, throw up there, lay in the fetal position for a little while. Because when I get drunk, it's a story. Come back down. I'm drinking water like I'm a sponge. Go back inside, go back up to that bathroom. Someone's in there. Run downstairs. Waiting, just holding my hand over my mouth so I make it into the bathroom because it's not my house. Run in, vomit. I'm looking at my girlfriend like, are you sober enough to drive me home? And she's like, give me another hour. So I sit down. I think I passed out for like 5 minutes, just sitting upright with my eyes open. Someone was talking to me, no idea what they were talking about. So she's driving me home, and I'm just sitting in the seat like this. And it was like she was hitting every pothole. You ever know when you just want a smooth ride because your stomach's just like, and you know, a normal road that you go smooth riding, all the potholes come out of nowhere. So it's like, boom, boom, Now, I was smart. I took a whole handful of paper towels because I knew how she drove. So I knew I wasn't going to make it all the way home. I always had this. So vomiting out of a car going 45 miles an hour, not a pretty sight. So she gets one, and I'm touching the window, and I'm the control center on my PT Cruiser. Yes, I drove one of those. Yeah. The window controls are right here. So I'm hitting the button, and she goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I need to throw up." She goes, "Do you want to pull over?" I'm like, "No, just get me home." Get the window down, vomit out the window, and now I'm reaching around. She goes, "What do you need?" I'm like, "I need the paper towel." She goes, "Well, come here." I'm like, "You don't want to see this. Trust me." Feel the paper towels. Grab them. One wipe, everything's clean. We're almost home. She hits another bump. My head rolls over, and then I see the lights on the street light up the side of my car. And what I lost was now all over the side of my car. I was living in the basement apartment in my parents' old townhouse, so I didn't want them to come out in the morning and see my stupidity all over the side of my car. So I'm like, "Honey, how much do you love me?" And she's like, "Why?" I'm like, "When we get to the house, will you just stand me up and prop the hose in my hand?" So it takes me 5 minutes to get out of the car. I feel whoosh right there. She washed the car off for me. That was very nice. Now she's trying to sneak me into my apartment so my parents don't see it. Because this was an early barbecue. So we were getting home at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. Now, my parents always play the old card and we're in bed by 9, maybe 10. But we had this cathedral dining room. And there was a walkway with a banister that led into my parents' bedroom. Well, my mom's a raging insomniac. Even though they go to bed early, she's always wandering the house. So instead of wandering right to the stairs, I wander into the living room. And then I hear, "Hon, is that you?" I'm like, "Hi, Mom!" And she looks at me and then looks at my arm and is like, "Is he drunk?" And I'm like, "Mom, your son is so intoxicated. I'm going to go downstairs and sleep it off." Bam! Right into a wall, hit the floor, and literally crawled all the way down the stairs. Just like, crawled into bed, woke up the next morning. Wasn't as hungover as I thought I was. Gonna be. But I still hated myself. Then there's a show called Scares the King. This is the first time I got blackout drunk. Now, keep in mind, these are all many years apart. This was the first weekend, this was the second weekend. No, these are several. This one happened in 2013. So, I'd already had 2 beers. Kane Hodder had bought me one, Sid Haig, Captain Spaulding from the Rob Zombie movies bought me one, and I had a shot of Jack. So this guy I've been talking to all day on Friday, all day on Saturday, comes up, he goes, "Hey, I want you to try something." Well, I'm already buzzed. Because when I do conventions, I eat 1 meal a day, so the alcohol's hitting me right away. And I'm very trusting when I'm drunk, as we all are. And he goes, "I want you to try this." I'm like, "What is it?" He goes, "Just try it." I'm like, "Okay." So I take a big swig of it, and I taste apple pie. Very nice. The second word, not good. Moonshine. I'm talking a big gulp. So I don't remember anything of that night. I'm woken up the next morning after waking up at 3:30 and vomiting my soul. Like, we passed the contents of my stomach, we passed bile. Did you know there's something after bile? Because I didn't. It's foam. It's disgusting. So I lay back down, I look around the hotel room and realize one of the girls that's working with me isn't in the room, and it's 3:30 in the morning. Like, I wake up at 6:30, got a text message from a friend of mine. Lacey's with me, don't worry. Oh, thank God. So I'm woken up to this. Want to see what you did last night? It's on YouTube. Oh. So apparently when I get blackout drunk, everyone has these sexual escapades. Me? I get on stage in front of 200 people and sing Rob Zombie's Dracula like a rock star, and I'm watching like, oh, and I'm looking at the crowd, I'm like, they love it. Of course they love it. They're as drunk as I am. They recorded that, but no one recorded what I did after. An ex of mine and a friend who was not in the hotel room, she wandered somewhere else and stayed with a friend of mine because she was drunk too. They got up and sang Iron Maiden's The Trooper. Iron Maiden is near and dear to my heart and Mavric's. And if you don't do it right, if I'm blackout drunk, I will stand next to you and scream the lyrics. And I overpowered 2 women with microphones. And no one recorded that. Now this is a sober story, and this is my last one. My friend Jerry, I used to have a friend Jerry who used to do a lot of shows with us, and we would, the only way to put it is gay humor. But apparently we were very convincing, because my friend Adam comes up and he goes, you guys may want to go talk to John. I'm like, why? He goes, well, John is gay, and he's about to come over to your booth and ask you 2 up to his room for a threesome. So the 2 of us are like, ooh. Not because we're afraid of a gay man. We're both like, oh God, we've just offended someone. So we walk over to his table, big smile like a little kid being given a puppy. And we're like, we need to apologize. And it goes from, that's it, huh? And it was like, we're not gay. And he's like, and then it was like a little kid having their puppy taken away. And we're really sorry, we meant no offense, we didn't want to. He goes, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed, because we could have had so much fun. And the 2 of us just had that shiver and walked away. Guys, my name is HSJ. My real name is Andrew. Thank you very much.